Won 2 quarters, lost 2 quarters, so that was pleasing that we were able to compete and be in the game in that respect. Listen, our endeavour was really strong, and bottom line is we just couldn't get it inside 50 enough, to single margin figure that splits the two sides by the end of the game, but that's a double figured margin between inside 50 differential. So we need to work out a way that we can get the ball inside 50 and hold it in there a little bit more often, and that'll give us a better chance to have more inside 50s, and because we're not too bad at actually converting the chances once we get it in there, but we just need to get a greater volume of them, and obviously if we get a few more it probably would mean that at the other end they're not getting as many as well, so it would help on both fronts.
What can you take away from the end of the game? Because you gave yourself a chance to pinch it there with a minute and a half to go.
Yeah, and sometimes it's just a lack of a bounce, or where the ball drops. Tom Powell kicked the ball into the middle of the oval. Hilly for the Saints dropped the footy, but where that ball lands once it's dropped, it's just a raffle really. Didn't land in our arms unfortunately, but had it landed in our arms, then we're a chance to take it forward and maybe score. So we gave ourselves a chance, but at the end of the day, probably the fact that they were 3 or 4 goals up at 3/4 time just made it a little bit tough. But we've had a lot of close games this year. We've won 3 or 4 of them, drawn another one, and lost 5 of them. So the fact, five games we've lost by less than 10 points. So we sit there and say, "Oh, do you need to work on some scenario stuff?" Probably. But our scenario stuff in the last quarter is actually pretty good, because we chased down a margin and gave ourselves a chance to win late and just didn't quite get there. But we're pleased that there's the thing, and that's the hard part with a result like last week against the Cats. Feels like you're going backwards, but you're not. The fact that we've been so competitive in many of our games this year is a step in the right direction for us, but we need to work out how we can get more inside 50 so we can be in games for longer and then give ourselves more of a chance to actually win those. And you just I can't really explain it, except the history of the game says some really, really strange things happen in July and August for even good sides that are preparing themselves for finals. We saw Brisbane from one week to the next, Gold Coast from one week to the next, Melbourne from one week to the next, us from one week to the next. We didn't get the chocolates today, but we're so much a better side today than what we put out there last week, and that helped a little bit. Larky coming back, able to stabilise our forward line a little bit, and putting Comben behind the ball where he's played most of his footy the last 2 years. Those sorts of things destabilised a little bit over the last couple of weeks, whilst we gave some younger guys an opportunity and just experimented with a couple of things, but not a great experiment last week when you get touched up by 100 points.
Clarky, you touched on your season and having some close ones. You are sitting at the bottom 2 though. So how do you feel like you're progressing overall as far as looking ahead to the rebuild and the bigger picture?
I think I just explained that.
Are you happy with where you're at though? Have you progressed as quickly as you would have hoped in your time yet?
No, it's a tough grind, but we're making progress. But we'd like the progress to be more in terms of wins. We're not quite there at the moment, but we're the mood and morale within the 4 walls of the footy club. It just becomes the hysteria of expectation outside. That, but it's a tough caper. But we've known all along to take sides from near the bottom of the ladder to the top is real hard work. But it just seems to be a lot of people that think that they can do it a little bit better, that have never even tried it.
Is it hysteria though? Is it fair for people to sort of still look a bit and see, it's been going for a while?
You can make your judgments. We just worry about what we can control within the walls of our footy club, and we just know it's tough yards. So we'll just keep working away at it.
Paul Curtis got reported at quarter time for striking. Did you see the incident?
I didn't even know it was reported.
Yeah, for cut him in the throat.
We'll see what happens. Yeah, I've never seen it. Didn't even know it was reported. So yeah.
Felt like a pretty pivotal moment late in the game when Nick Larkey was unable to take his free kick. Is there
Nor take his 50-metre penalty either, could he?
Yeah, it wasn't
Gosh, truth.
50, but was there a concern that he's re-injured his knee in that incident?
Yeah, obvious concern. You know, you get hit in the middle of the back like that after you've taken a mark. We're meant to be there to protect the ball player, aren't we? Gosh, truth. So we'll just wait and see how that pulls up. But he was able to come back onto the ground, but it didn't look too good when it first happened.
Did he hurt his knee in the incident, or was it just his back?
Not sure. Yeah, sorry. But all, I mean, it sounds it sounds uncaring in a way that you don't know. It's just you're really just asking the doctors, what's the situation? Can he go back on, return to the field, particularly when it's pretty chaotic in the last part of the game. He just needed to settle a little bit and then get himself back out there. So good sign that he was able to get back out there, but not such a good sign that he wasn't protected in the first instance.
How close was he to missing today? We see him train on Thursday. Was it touch and go, or were you pretty confident?
No, he trained during the week. Yeah, so he did everything we expected him to do in terms of full training during the week, and he was good as gold to go. And you know, it was a pretty violent collision that caused him to get hurt again. Now, as I said, I don't even know if it's his knee or with his back or what it was, but it was pretty solid contact driving him into the ground. Yeah, he'll hopefully recover well and be available for us next week.
Jai, do you expect to have him available next week?
Hoping to. He's had a grumbly knee, and we just thought after trying to get through over the last couple of weeks and carry, it just wasn't quite right. So couldn't train as strongly as we'd like during the week. So he's had a rest. Hopefully he'll recover really well and be able to train next week and be available for next week against the Giants. But there's no guarantee of that either. We just need to wait and see how it settled, and it obviously hadn't settled well enough for us to pick him for this game.
Zach subbed out with his ribs.
Yeah, he got tipped upside down there at one point in time and landed pretty heavily. So, whether it's ribs or lower back or whatever it is, but he'll get that looked at in the early part of the week. And but he was doing some nice things for us. We're pleased with how he's progressing, but disappointing he had to come out just after half time.
The last few weeks of the season, do you use this now at the selection table to sort of find out about players who might be sort of just needing to push for a chance to stay on the list, like a Geordie Payne or that kind of thing? Do you start to get a little bit more experimental at the selection table?
Well, not after last week. We need to stabilise and see the season out, and if players are playing well enough in the seconds and deserve their opportunity to play, we don't need to necessarily see them at AFL level. We see them train every week and we see them play at VFL level, and if they deserve an opportunity they'll get one, if they don't then they won't. So we need to keep trying to mainly around the way that we want to play and just stabilise some guys in some positions, as we saw last week. By forced changes to your side, then we try some guys because you're forced to in different spots, and it destabilises your side. So we learnt that the hard way against a pretty polished outfit last week. Just stabilise things a little bit better this week and gave ourselves a chance. So we'll probably continue to do that for the next 3 weeks, I reckon. Good on you guys, thank you.